welcome to this video. It's Frankie Widows here. So in this very quick little tutorial, I'm going to talk to you how we go about wrapping a fan onto the natural lash. Now the reason why we do this is it's going to give you a nice seamless bond onto the natural lash. It's always going to offer better retention, and that's what clients like. Now, you're not always going to get the wrap. It's something that I try and achieve, but if I don't get it, it's not a problem. When I judge at competition level, a lot of the times they're not wrapping. We don't wrap classic lashes and we get great retention out of them. So, don't get too obsessed with wrapping your fans. Always attempt it, but if you can't get it, it's not a problem, and just move on with your life. But I do hope that this video assists you guys in attempting the wrap and being able to recognise it when you get it. So first of all, I'm going to take you step by step through this just in the theory, so that when we get onto the practical element, you can see exactly what it is that we're doing. So step one, what we're going to do is we are going to place our fan onto the natural lash. Now, if you're working in the inner corners, guidelines are that you're 0.03 millimeters away, and if you're over the middle section of the eyes, then guidelines are 0.05 millimeters away. Now, you're going to place the fan onto the natural lash and let it float. Think about a helicopter landing on an egg. If you land too hard, you're going to crack that eggshell. And if you land your fan too hard onto the natural lash to start off with the uncured adhesive, you are going to split your bases. So you need to float that fan onto the natural lash and just let him float there for 2 seconds without losing contact. What we're doing is we're allowing that fan and the adhesive to make contact with the natural lash and start its initial set cure. Now, if you lose contact, your 2 seconds must start again because you've not got that initial set cure. So we're balancing it on the natural lash. And when 2 seconds has been completed and you've got a good set or initial set cure, what you're going to do is move on to step 2, where you're going to very, very gently push down for 3 seconds. And that's 1, 2, 3. And I mean gently. You should only see that natural lash move a tiny bit. If you see that natural lash moving away from you and almost sticking to the iPad, then you're pushing too hard. It's just a very, very gentle pressure. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow that fan base to spread and start encasing around the natural lash. Now, once you've done step 2, you're going to move on to step 3, and what you're going to do is you're now going to release the pressure. So you're not going to be pushing down, you're just going to be floating, but keep hold of the fan nice and hard in your tweezers because that glue is still unset. If you release there and then, your fan will close. So just float there for 3 seconds, because what we're doing is we're letting that fan set so that when we do release it, it will not close, because there's nothing worse when you spend all of that time making that beautiful fan, you've put it onto the natural lash and you've released it too soon, and that fan closes and you've ruined it, and you're fighting to try and get it open and it doesn't work. So you've got to just float there for 3 seconds to let that set happen. After the 3 seconds, what you're then going to do is slowly open your tweezers, watching that fan like a hawk, because if you see any signs of him moving, you're going to take hold again. If you just release straight away, you're going to shock that fan and he's going to close. So it's a slow release of that fan, and we're going to open the tweezer and move away from the fan without hitting him on the way out. I see so many students, they release their fan and on the way out they knock the fan and they either close it or they knock it off the natural lash. So that's really, really important. Now, one little trick is if you look at the base of your adhesive and it is still shiny, you know it's wet and you've got to hold it for longer. Where if it's taken on a matte sort of greyish appearance, you know that the adhesive has cured, and then you can release. So all in all, your fan should be held for at least 8 seconds prior to release. So it's 2 seconds for the float, 3 seconds for the gentle push down, and another 3 seconds for the remaining float, and then we're coming away. So this is why to actually wrap a set of fans takes a long time. You cannot wash these sets out in an hour if you're doing the creation of these beautiful fans and you're correctly wrapping onto the natural lash or attempting to wrap onto the natural lash. So in this video, which I have slowed down, which is done on a mannequin head because you can really see what's going on, you're going to see that I'm actually placing the fan onto the natural lash here, and I'm just letting it float. You can see that adhesive is still shiny, and I'm just letting it float there and waiting until it stops sliding around, because that's when I know that fan has got that initial set cure. Once that's happened, I'm going to do a gentle push down for 3 seconds, and that's 1, 2, 3. I'm then going to allow that fan to float there for another 3 seconds, which is 1, 2, 3. And watch here when I release slowly and the fan pops open. That is that fan encasing or wrapping around that natural lash. Magic, eh? And not normally can you see it that close up onto a natural lash. So what we're going to do is we're going to show that again in real time. So we're going to come onto the natural lash. We're going to let the fan float, and I'm just waiting until it's sort of grabbed. You can see it's still sliding. Now it's grabbed. Now I'm going to push down for 3, gently 1, 2, 3, float for 3, 1, 2, 3, slowly release, and that fan pops open and wraps on to the natural lash like so. Now it doesn't always work, guys. If you've got your incorrect temperature and humidity, this won't work because your glue will be setting too quick or too slow. So you must control temperature and humidity and know your adhesive and how it works to absolute perfection for this to happen. Again, if your adhesive is too fast, so if you've got a super quick curing adhesive, you'll never get it to wrap because your glue will have kind of cured mostly before you get onto the natural lash. Or again, if it's too slow, it will just be sliding around all of the time. If you have very coarse natural lashes on your clients, if their lashes are really rough, then you'll find that there's almost like friction or resistance there when you try to push down, so you're never going to get a wrap on that type of client. If you've also got a client that's very moisture dense in her lashes, I had it before, didn't matter if I primed her, but when I placed the fan onto her natural lashes, it's almost like they cured immediately, and I just had no flexibility, couldn't wrap on that client. And if you've got a client that's got very weak natural lashes that are almost like fluff, and I get a lot of the more mature ladies that are like that, when you push down, the lashes move away from you, and you need some kind of like strength or resistance to be able to push down onto the natural lash a little bit and then allow the fan to encase on it. So it doesn't work on those. And if you've got clients that have got crazy growing natural lashes, so let's say they grow in lots of different directions, you actually can't wrap off those clients because all you're doing is just trying to correct direction. So you're just kind of hooking off the side of natural lashes, just trying to create that direction, so it's never going to work on that type of client. So like I said, I always do try and attempt the wrap on clients, but it's not always going to work, and it's not something that I lose sleep over. You're still going to get a good retention out of your clients, but obviously if you can get that wrap, you're going to get the best because you've then got every single fan in that fan, or every single extension making contact with the natural lash. Whereas what you can see here in this image, if you don't get a wrap, you've only got like 1 or 2 extensions making contact. Like I said, you are still going to get good retention out of it. We don't wrap classic lashes, and they still actually give us really good retention. So it's not something to, like I said, to lose sleep over it. But I do hope that that quick video has assisted you in knowing how to go about wrapping onto the natural lash. So what you just saw was a few videos and some slides from my courses that I run. If you come and visit my website, www.eyelashexcellence.com, I have got a variety of in-person courses and online courses. So if you can't get to me and you're not in the UK but you want to learn my content, go and take my online courses. The course content is exactly the same as I teach in my classes, and you get lifetime access to those courses. Your subscription to it never ever expires, and when I update the courses, you get the updates as well. So it's a win-win, and you can get assessed as well when you submit your case studies. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Frankie Widows, Facebook, FrankieWidowsEyelashExcellence.com, and YouTube, Frankie Widows Eyelash Excellence. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.